Might feel like you haven't seen any progress when you actually have. What to do when the scale's not moving. I am hitting legs today. One of the best ways to really notice stuff. And that honestly helped me so much. Hello guys, I hope you're doing well. Good morning. Well, actually it's 3 p.m. so good afternoon. Today I thought it would be great to talk about tracking your progress because I get so many questions on what to do when the scale's not moving, what is body recomposition, how do I know if I'm building muscle while I'm losing fat? And so we're gonna cover that all today because I know a lot of you are on your fitness journeys. And whether you're just starting your fitness journey or you've been on one for a while like me, it's no secret that you have goals that you wanna hit. And the best way to hit them is to be tracking your progress along the way. So as someone who's literally done it all, today I'm gonna run you through all of the best ways to track your progress, from the hard data for the nerds like me to the non-scale victories that can help keep you motivated when the scale just isn't moving. Let's over to the kitchen to talk about our first tracking method while I make my coffee because I need it. It's 3 p.m. and I haven't had caffeine and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I thought this was gonna be like cute and aesthetic, but actually it's just a mess in here because I just finished filming the week of eating you guys saw, which went up yesterday, but whatever. I'm gonna non-aesthetically and messily make my coffee. All right, coffee's made, so I'm ready to go. I wanna start off with the first thing, what we all know and love, or well, hate, the scale. If your goal is weight loss or weight gain, there is no doubt that tracking your weight, of course, is important in your journey. But guys, we're all human and our weight can vary from like 2 to 5 pounds. Like right now I'm constantly fluctuating and I'm just like in maintenance. And this can be due to water retention, to hormonal changes, or maybe you had a big delicious meal the night before, all right? You got a little bit of a food baby going on, that's okay. But this is why it's best to use any weigh-ins you do as trend over time. And what that basically means, right, is if you're 155 and then you're 156 and then you're 150 and then you're 152 and then you're 149 and then you're 150. You know what I mean? Like you're still like, you're kind of going up and down, but you're still trending down overall. So I honestly have been weighing myself pretty often now, like a couple of times a week and just tracking that as a trend. If you're not willing to do that and you kind of don't want to put yourself through like the mental anguish of seeing that number on your scale more often than you have to, I did once a week weigh-ins for a huge majority of my journey. But just keep in mind, you might be weighing in on a day where you're more bloated. And so it might feel like you haven't seen any progress when you actually have. And especially when we're going for like slow weight loss, right? The goal is between half a pound to 2 pounds per week. But if your weight is fluctuating 2 to 5 pounds, all right, you're not going to be able to see that like from week 1 to week 2. So if you're only tracking for like a couple of weeks, do not be discouraged, okay? It really is about that trend over time. So please keep in mind the weight fluctuations as well as the healthy range of losing weight, all right? They can kind of contradict each other a little bit, or not contradict each other, but you know what I mean? Like they can kind of mask each other. So that's one of the main problems I have with the scale. But another problem is if you're interested in body recomposition like me, which is building muscle while you're losing the fat, it can be even harder to see any progress through the scale because you're only tracking your weight, but you might not be losing as much weight because you're building muscle, you know what I'm saying? Or you're retaining muscle. So you're asking me, Leah, well, what else is there to track? Like all I know is the scale. I got you, girl. I got you. Come on. One of the other methods that I've loved to use throughout my journey is a measuring tape. Okay, not that kind of measuring tape. A body measuring tape. The reason I brought you into the bedroom beyond thinking you're just so beautiful is that I actually have to get changed into my gym clothes because we're gonna be going to the gym later. And also I'm kind of serving Jesse Pinkman right now, and that's not really the best outfit for doing body measurements. So please hold. Oh my God, this is so cute. This set is so cute, I can't. Are the glutes gluting yet, guys? Remember my other video I did this and then I was looking like Flat Stanley? Time to get on to the measurements. So a measuring tape is a great way to track your progress beyond the scale, especially if there are specific parts of your body where you want to lose fat. So like maybe your arms, your thighs, your waist. So even though the scale might not be budging, your measurements might, which means that you are making progress. Your body's just changing in shape rather than weight. The key here is consistency. You want to make sure that you're measuring on the exact same part of your body every single time. So the exact same part of your arm, the exact same part of your thigh. And I also recommend doing the same time of day. Obviously it's 3 o'clock for me, so I'm not doing this, but I would recommend doing this first thing in the morning. That way it's before you eat in case you bloat a little bit after eating. It'll keep your measurements pretty consistent. Other thing I love about this is if you're taking your measurements regularly, you'll always have something to reference when you're online shopping. Yes, I have an addiction. Now, if you want to get real nerdy about body composition, which obviously I do, A DEXA scan is the gold standard. Let's chat a little bit more about what that is. So a DEXA scan is a low dose x-ray that can give you an exact picture on your body fat, muscle mass, and bone density. And it's broken down by body part, so you can see exactly where you're carrying fat or building muscle. If you follow me over on Instagram, which, you should be, come on, you would have already known that I actually recently got a DEXA scan. And I think that was my 4th time getting one done. I honestly absolutely fell in love with them because they really tell a story that a scale just can't. For example, my body fat went from like 44% to 21%, but my lean mass barely moved, which means I retained a huge majority of my muscle throughout my weight loss. And that's what strength training does and why I preach it so much. But you would never know that if you were just going off the weight on the scale. Downsides with the DEXA are they honestly just aren't convenient. You have to schedule an appointment at a facility that has a DEXA, and they can run you from $50 to over $100 depending on where you go and what promotions they're running. So it's not like it's something that you'd be wanting to do every day or weekly. I honestly only go once a quarter max, which is actually why I was so excited when Hume reached out to sponsor this video. This is a Hume Body Pod, and it's actually a body analyzer, which means it can do things a scale couldn't dream of doing. And even smart scales are just going based off your lower body and estimating the rest. But the Hume Body Pod is like an in-body scan you can do at home. So it's scanning your whole body at 98% accuracy. You just step on, grab the handles, and you get a full body scan in seconds. Then it actually pulls up in the app, and this is where it gets good. You can see the full humanoid breakdown, so the muscle and fat distribution in your arms, your legs, and your torso separately, not just one conflated number. The 2 metrics I tracked the most throughout my journey are muscle mass and body fat percentage. Your weight can stay the same as you're actually recomping. In the app, you'll also get AI insights that look at your body composition alongside your sleep and activity and tell you where to actually focus. No more staring at numbers and not knowing what they mean. You can use my code Leah Cedeno and actually stack it with Hume's current sale, which will get you 50% off. And if you're based in the US like me, it's actually HSA and FSA eligible. Use my code soon because it expires in 7 days. And thanks again to Hume for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into some non-data ways to track your progress. One of the ways I've really loved tracking my progress is actually through my clothes. There are so many clothes that I don't even fit into now, but there are also clothes that I felt like started fitting me better. Like I noticed that especially with like my more compressive workout clothes, and that was actually because my body fat percentage was decreasing, and I could tell that just by the clothes I was wearing. And I actually have a whole box of activewear sitting in my closet right now that doesn't fit me anymore. Currently trying to figure out if there's a way I can give it to you guys, so stay tuned for that because there's so many good pieces that like literally just don't fit anymore. I'll pop up some before and afters of me on screen like wearing the exact same outfit so you can see the difference. Like this is seriously such a good and underrated way to track your progress. I do want to say, do not wait to fit into a pair of jeans. Like don't wait to dress yourself in the way that you like. I actually got this advice from a nutritionist when I was first starting out my journey, and she really encouraged me to start buying myself clothes and investing in my current body instead of just continuing to hold out for when I could fit into my old clothes again. And that honestly helped me so much throughout my journey. Definitely don't put yourself in a place where you don't feel like good in anything that you're wearing. You can absolutely dress for your body now. And I promise if you do that, you'll be so much happier than you would be if you're just waiting to fit into clothes that don't fit you anymore. All right, speaking of clothes, you already saw my fit, but we're ready to go to the gym. I am hitting legs today, so pray for me. All right, we're starting off my leg day with a warm-up actually. Now listen, I've been sleeping on warm-ups for a while. I think they're boring. I just want to get into my workout. But if I'm being honest, I've noticed such a huge difference both in my workout and how I feel afterwards by doing these warm-ups. I feel so much less tight. I feel like I'm not as likely to have, any pain in like my knee or hip flexors. So this has really been helping. I stole this entire thing from Jessica Bickling, so I'll link her video down below. Obviously I want to look like her. All right. She's giving glute mommy. Okay. She's the best. But I swear by this routine. And on top of this routine, I also added on walking backwards on the treadmill. This is a great knee warm up. Another thing that I've noticed a huge difference with. I know it looks kind of silly. It can be a little bit intimidating, but I promise you it's worth it. All right. Now we're starting off our workout with our lying leg curls. This is the warm up weight. Okay. I'm warming up. Don't judge the weights. All right. But I like to start with these because they warm up my knees for, of course, the evil Bulgarian split squats. But hey, my form is getting a lot better. I'm still obviously exhausted, but getting a lot better and feeling a lot stronger. I actually ended up moving up to 35s after this set.
It does not matter how much I do Bulgarian split squats. They're always the worst, but this does lead me to, sorry, I'm literally out of breath.
One of my favorite ways to track progress
Is going up in weight at the gym. I found that this was like one of the best ways throughout my journey to really notice stuff, especially when I wasn't seeing like really visible physical changes. Like I used to struggle to do body weight Bulgarian split squats, and now I'm doing 60 pounds total. So that's like a huge win. And so that's why like I think strength training is one of the best things you can do on your journey, because I know technically this is kind of data because we're looking at numbers, but it's separate from the body measurements. And so that's why I put it here. But yeah, I just think that it's so awesome to see yourself going up in weight, and you're a lot stronger than you think most of the time. So if you're not tracking your weights, I definitely recommend doing so, because wow, it's just so cool to be able to see that change over time. It's got to be like my favorite way. Well, maybe my second favorite way to track progress, but it's up there. Maybe they're tied. Let me get to the rest of the workout, and then we'll talk about the final way I love to track progress, which maybe you can guess.
Then we're off to the calf raises. I do these on the leg press because we don't have a standing leg press up machine at this gym, but I just switched gyms and now I do have one, so you might see that change later. But right after this, we're going on to our leg press, single leg press, all right? You know, this is where I really feel it in the glutes. You notice that top middle placement of the leg. That's how you're really gonna feel it there. Then we go into hip abduction. You'll notice I'm in that elevated kind of hip thrust-like position. I know it's weird, but I swear, guys, I feel it way more in my side glute that way. Then we're going on to our core section. You know me in the decline weighted crunches. I got a 35-pound plate. You can do these unweighted or with a little bit of weight.
All right, I've been wanting to try doing cable crunches for a while because I've definitely maxed out the weight that I can hold for the decline crunches I just did. Because like I don't want to hold a 45-pound plate. Oh my God, you can see me. I'm gonna try cable crunches for the first time. No better time than now to learn something new. So I'm gonna find a TikTok and I'm gonna watch it.
I actually think form is a great way of keeping track of your progress as well. And it doesn't even have to be through video, but just how you feel doing a movement. I didn't know what was going on in the gym for so long, and it can be so intimidating to try, but we all have to start somewhere, and it's a lot of trial and error.
Felt that in my abs, but I can't tell if that was the right form. So I'm gonna have to watch this back. Don't judge me if it looks wrong though.
But it's so great when you realize that a movement's actually finally clicking, like you're feeling it in the muscle that you're supposed to feel it in, or you know, you're not struggling as much with your balance. Like things like this are also great things to keep track of.
I think that was better. If you have notes, let me know. It's my first time ever doing them. But see, I just looked up a TikTok and I figured it out. I think I got at least close. You may have guessed it, but this one is a fave of mine. Progress photos. But honestly, I didn't take a lot of photos at the beginning of my journey, and I wish I did.
Okay, sorry, we're back at my place because when I was filming that, like someone walked in and I literally did like that meme. Like that was literally me. But I wanted to finish off this segment of the video because I think progress pictures are so important. I know exactly what it's like to not want to take any pictures of yourself. And like I said, I didn't take any pictures of myself at my heaviest. And I honestly wish I did, just so I could see even more like how far I've come. And it's not necessarily about like the huge difference. Like, you know, with me, it's 140 pounds at this point, but being able to look back at those pictures helped me when the scale wasn't moving, because you can kind of see the body recomp, you can see how the clothes are fitting. And then it's so motivating to be able to look back. You guys have seen me post so much transformation content, especially over on Instagram. But those videos, aside from like just being great content that I like to share, actually like really help me ground myself and understand like how far I've come and the amount of progress I've made, whether it be in 3 years, whether it be 6 months. They're just such great content, like even for me to just look at. So I encourage the hell out of progress photos, progress videos definitely too, because you can see the body in motion more. So I think they're even better. So if you're not feeling like taking pictures of your current physique, do it now, because your future self is gonna thank you. Because you already look good, girl, but when you hit your goals, you'll be looking even better. And then you can put them side by side and be like, damn, I really did that. And I love when you guys post your progress checks in our accountability group. I won't post them here because I don't want to put anyone on blast. But if you're not in our accountability group already, I definitely recommend joining. It's completely free. There are over 1,000 of you in there, and it's just like the best group of people. Like so many girlies posting their wins, their progress, setting goals, and everyone just cheering each other on. It's like the best thing. So if you want some internet BFFs that are on the same journey as you, I'll put the link in the description. We've covered a lot today, but I hope you guys have a full picture of how tracking goes way past the scale. Whether you're upgrading to an awesome tool like the Hume Body Pod or just creating a progress pics folder on your phone, let me know which one of these methods you'll be trying out. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to like and subscribe, because obviously you like the video, girl. Come on now. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks to Hume for sponsoring today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!